You know her as the Queen of Country, Reba McEntire. Her voice has filled arenas, her songs have topped charts, and her story has inspired millions. But for all her fame, all her success, there's one role she holds closer than any other: being a mom. This is the story of her son, Shelby Stephen McEntire Blackstock, a man who was born into the spotlight but found his own path away from it. He's more than just Reba's kid. He's a former professional racer, an entrepreneur, a husband, a Disney superfan, and someone whose life has been shaped by both the rhythm of country music and the roar of engines on a racetrack. Let's rewind the clock. Shelby was born on February 23, 1990, just under a year after Reba married Narvel Blackstock, her manager and partner in life and business. He would be their only child together, though Narvel already had 3 children from a previous marriage. Shelby came into a world full of travel, shows, and rehearsals. But Reba was determined that her son wouldn't just be raised in the middle of it all, but nurtured and protected through it. Reba has openly said that before Shelby, her world revolved mostly around herself, her goals, her schedule, her next tour stop. But everything shifted when he arrived. Suddenly, it wasn't just about performances and spotlights. It was about raising a good human. She's called Shelby a gift from God and says he taught her how to truly put someone else first. He made her softer, grounded her, gave her something no career achievement ever could. And even with a jam-packed career, she made time. Real time. When she could, she brought him on the road. When she couldn't, she'd literally fly home after a concert just to wake him up in the morning, take him to school, pick him up in the afternoon, and then fly right back out for a show that night. That's not just parenting. That's commitment on another level. As a kid, Shelby's life was mobile. He spent his early years in Nashville, but when Reba took on Broadway in 1999, playing the lead in Annie Get Your Gun, they moved to New York. A year later, they moved again, this time to Los Angeles, when Reba began filming her hit sitcom Reba. And yet, even with all this movement, Shelby stayed grounded. Maybe because his mom made sure home wasn't just a place, it was wherever she was. But here's the twist most people didn't see coming. Shelby didn't follow his parents into entertainment. Instead, he took a sharp turn. Straight onto the racetrack. During his freshman year at the University of Arizona, something clicked. He realized he wasn't passionate about college, but he was absolutely passionate about racing. He made a deal with Reba, finished 2 semesters, then chased the dream. She agreed. And so, in 2011, Shelby began his professional racing career. 5 months into training, he made his debut at the Grand Am 200 in Daytona. Let's pause there. 5 months into racing, and he's already on a professional track. That doesn't just speak to talent, it speaks to drive, no pun intended. Reba, of course, was stunned, but incredibly proud. She watched her son tear down the track at 170 miles per hour, and called it the biggest rush she'd ever felt. This is a woman who's performed for thousands, but nothing topped seeing her kid chase his dream at full speed. Over the years, Shelby climbed the ranks. In 2020, he became the GT World Challenge America overall champion. It was a major win, but eventually, life began to shift again. Racing wasn't everything anymore. His ambitions evolved, his focus expanded. Shelby stepped away from the track and turned his attention toward business. He founded Heartland, an outdoor clothing brand that aimed to connect communities through a shared love for adventure and the outdoors. The brand went quiet after 2021, but it showed a different side of him: creative, entrepreneurial, thoughtful. Around that same time, he took on a role as a business development manager at Global Source Advisors, a company focused on distributing healthcare products. He also started dipping into real estate and investment projects, looking at the long game, building a more stable foundation beyond the adrenaline rush of the track. And then, came love. Shelby met Marissa Branch in 2014 on Tinder. Yep, the dating app. But instead of jumping into a relationship, they became friends first. Good friends, the kind that stick around. 2 years later, things turned romantic. And it stuck. They got engaged on New Year's Eve in 2020 in the most Shelby way possible, at Walt Disney World's Epcot. Why Disney? Because Shelby's been a die-hard Disney fan since he was a kid. He grew up on the movies, made memories in the parks, and to this day calls it his happy place. Their wedding? Pure magic. They got married on February 12, 2022, right in front of Cinderella's castle. Marissa walked down the aisle to Tale as Old as Time from Beauty and the Beast. Fitting, right? It wasn't just romantic. It was symbolic. It was also the very spot where Shelby first told her, "I love you." Today, Shelby and Marissa live in Nashville, back where it all began, close to Reba and the rest of the family. They have 2 dogs, Belle, a husky, and Watson, a corgi. And yes, they are very much part of the family. You'll see them in almost every family photo, from Halloween pumpkin patches to snow days and car rides. And while Shelby tends to keep his relationship with his dad, Narvel Blackstock, more private, he never misses a Father's Day without posting a heartfelt tribute. Whether it's a throwback photo or a simple thank you, he makes it clear. His dad's role in his life matters. In 2024, Shelby and Marissa visited Reba on the set of her latest sitcom Happy's Place at Universal Studios in Los Angeles. It wasn't just a visit. It was a full-circle moment. Getting to see his mom in her element, decades after growing up watching her work behind the scenes, it was powerful. They described it as finding their happy place. That says a lot. So, who is Shelby Blackstock? He's a kid who grew up in the shadow of fame but found his own identity behind a helmet, behind a business desk, and beside the woman he loves. He's someone who's taken risks, tried new things, and never stopped evolving. He's a husband, a son, a dog dad, a Disney nerd, and someone who values family fiercely. He didn't take the easy road. He didn't ride coattails. He raced, he built, he loved, and he lived on his own terms. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the life of Shelby Blackstock, give us a like, hit subscribe, and drop a comment. What part of his story stood out to you most? We've got more stories just like this one coming your way. See you in the next video.